Well, yeah, Jamie, one of the packages, as you mentioned, was found right here at the Harry Hughes building here at the Maryland Department of Transportation. If you look behind me, you can see the response that came out for this. Anne Arundel County Fire Department, several units from the fire department are here, including their hazmat, their technical reserve. Just a few minutes ago, we saw looked like bomb-sniffing dogs were leaving the building here as well. Also, the Maryland Department of Transportation Police are here. They're big response to this, what happened here. Now, here's what we know so far. The package came into the building here. It was in the mailroom. One of the employees, when they handled the package, it suddenly started to, what they say, emit like an incendiary reaction. The employee dropped the package, and that's when they said there was like a small flash, and then the smell of, like they said, like a sulfur-like smell filled the air inside the mailroom and in a good part of the building. As a precaution, everybody evacuated, including all 300 employees in this building. As you look behind me, too, that's a pretty big building there, and so they pretty much got everybody out of there. This is where they do a lot of the engineering, I think, for the state, where they do some of their engineering stuff here for the Department of Transportation. Now, once again, the 300 employees, they were evacuated here. From what we understand, there were no serious injuries other than having to deal with that sulfur-like smell. And they said one employee did have a few, maybe some slight burns on their fingertips, but they refused treatment because they said it was just a very slight injury. So they were able to, there was no real serious injuries here. But right now, according to State Fire Marshal William Bernard, they're now in the what they call the investigatory stage here, where they're going to basically look and see exactly what happened here and try to find out the origin of these packages. As you mentioned, there was a package here, there's one in Annapolis, and then the report of another one in downtown Baltimore. The state, from what I understand, too, has decided to pretty much examine all the mailrooms in all the state buildings at this point to make sure that there's not a repeat of this or that other packages are not sent out to different state offices. So they're going to make really sure that this is not going to happen again or that there's no more of these packages out here. But right now, if you take a look, some of these units are actually starting to go out. Man, if we can get over here, as you can see. But the response to this has been just incredible. Several command posts out here. There are probably dozens and dozens of firefighters. We also saw postal inspectors from the U.S. Postal Service here at this building as well, where they had just finished up their part of their investigation in order to find out what's going on. But once again, they are going into what they say the investigation stage of this, where they're going to try to find out the origin of these packages, who sent them, and why they sent them to state office buildings. Jamie?
Rosie, we were just listening to Greg Shipley from Maryland State Police, and he was pretty adamant, along with the other state police officials, not to call this an explosion, not to call it an explosive material. And our reporter on the scene, Don Harrison, asked, well, what was the material? They still don't know. Is that what you're getting? Pretty well, don't call it an explosion.
Fire Marshal, as a matter of fact, he's giving a news conference updating reporters at this moment. According to what he said right at the very beginning, they're calling this an incendiary reaction, some kind of incendiary device or something like that. An incendiary device would be something that would give off like flash or smoke or something like that, something that would burn, in other words. So they're not saying it was an explosion, but there was some kind of fire or flames or some kind of reaction here that was able to touch this off. Matter of fact, let's take a look. As you can see, this story has generated a lot of interest as well, as you can imagine. Right there in the center, the guy in the center in the suit, you can probably see the back shirt of his collar. That is William Bernard. He is the Maryland State Fire Marshal for the entire state, and he's updating reporters right now on that. And I'll tell you what we will do in a minute, if you give me a second here, we'll go over there and we'll turn some tape around and get back and let you guys know exactly what he said.